It's a blessing, brothers and sisters, to have elders that rule. Elder Ricard, Elder Lawyer, all the elders, Elder Yarack, Elder Dale, Elder Ramar, Elder Shapat, Elder Gaja, all the elders of the church, Elder Ariah, to give them double honors on this new year. Salute to our elders, right? That stand brave and tall and bold before us. And I'm gonna tell you, brothers and sisters, to a lot of us, saved a lot of our lives. Okay? I'm just speaking the truth on the Sabbath. That saved a lot of our lives. And I'm forever appreciative. So brothers and sisters, it's my esteemed pleasure and honor to introduce the elders of the Gathering of Christ Church, our presiding elders, Elder Ricard Shiar and Elder Lawyer. Let's give them a round of applause. Shalom.
Give it up for Bishop Amath. Give it up, give it up. Give it up for Yeshua, the anointed. Christ. Who have sacrificed for all of us as we are to sacrifice for one another. And you know I have to give it up to, he revealed his name, the God of all gods, Ahaya, Ashar Ahaya. There's so many things that I wanted to talk about, right, in this new year, right? As you can see, from one year to the next, the Most High is shaping his people. He's shaping the church. We've come a long way, brothers and sisters, but guess what? We have a rough patch to go. So I thought that I would give y'all some insight as well as encouragement, okay, in this new year. There's two separate times that it's a what you would call new refreshing spirit. Noah came out of the ark in the 7th month. So we are to remember when the Most High destroyed all the wicked and evil which opposed the righteous in the 7th month, that Trump month. So that's what the Jewish people call a new year, right? In commemoration of that. That's why they do Rosh Hashanah 7th month. But that's the prophetic first day of a prophetic year. A trump, from one trump to the next until the last trump, is the 7th month. But when we came out of Egypt, the Most High proclaimed what? An annual, yearly cycle that charts the earth year from one year to the next, starting in what they would call the spring. So we got the prophetic trump first month in the 7th month, but the annual calendar year is where we are now. Now, I don't have to tell you, there's a reason why we are celebrating the new year now, while under Judaism, they're going to celebrate another time. and even Hebrews. And I don't really come down on that because a lot of Hebrews took their cues from what they learned from Jewish people. But all in all, the Most High have put us back on time in preparation for something greater. So that we'll know right before the end when exactly we should celebrate his Sabbaths, his holy days. Right? And now we're going into a new year. And I would like to say to all of you, I bless you, I thank you, and I want to say to all my brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth, and especially those who have sacrificed in this church, Happy New Year. There's a 364-day cycle. I don't have to teach this over and over again because you all know. But I wanted to talk about a few things today, right? And I titled this, and I hope you all receive it in the spirit the Most High have given it to me. A new year, a new Israel. This is what I've noticed. There's a lot of initiatives and a lot of things that I wanted, that I would like to bring forth as we come closer as a church, a community, as a people under God. But I always weigh the initiatives and weigh what's positive, but I also have to look at, okay, what is the drawbacks that if I made a choice to help implement this, that would have negative out of something that we originally set up for good. And I prayed on it this morning. I thought about it. And the examples I can give you, there's so many things that I want to do, I want to see you all do. But I always look at the negative part of what might happen if we were to get our spirit behind a few things. But I said, you know what? Hold up. It's a new year. And eventually, you have to know when to let go the reins and allow the nation to come together under certain circumstances, even through the negative. Right? Now, before I go into the scriptures, a few things that I wanted to give an example of. This church, through the Spirit of the Almighty, started with just a few guys. I had no idea, even though it was spoken of in the scriptures, that there would be so many gathering of Christ church children. I had no idea. I knew what the prophecies said, and I was willing to work day by day to do my part of the ministry. But this is well beyond anything I've ever imagined throughout the earth. And through that comes a necessity. And what I was hoping for, before I go into the lesson, what I was hoping for, and what I hope for in the future, that families get with elders, bishops in particular, and form some type of co-op community for recreation outside of coming through on just Sabbaths. Why can't we get together without it being an initiative and help teach each other's children? Help watch each other's children. Of course, with parameters in place. Take the weight off of our families so that we can actually contribute more. Now, what's the drawback in that? Because I believe we're going to do this. A matter of fact, it's a necessity. We're going to have to do this. We're putting our children in schools and all of that with sick children. And it's not these children's fault that their parents don't know what's going on, how they're getting the stuff put in them, only to spread stuff all around the school that's come back home. And now we are subjected to the illnesses that they're utilizing through bioweaponry. What's the drawback in that? And now, here's a drawback, and I'm just saying this outright. The drawback is that when I look in these scriptures and how Paul and the disciples continually reprimand from the pulpit, from the church, how initiatives on the outside of the church led to so much, I would say, disruption of family. You would expect them to come together, our people to come together, right? But then there's reprimand because it's tough. Listen to what I'm saying here. We've been conditioned to, when we come together amongst ourselves, to more so share the negatives in hopes that you have a person who understands the same as you, who can understand some of the things you've kept within your home, which is really burdening you. So we begin to share burdens with other people and putting burdens of our home on other people, which is unfair to why we bring things together. Listen, I would rather it be the mentality we take while working in the world. And I don't understand how we can't apply that in a high level maturity amongst ourselves. It's a learning curve that comes with us becoming kingdom people. We can go to the job, somebody just left us, there's hell breaking loose, the landlord done put an eviction notice on my door, and we could be dealing with all these issues in the world and go to work and take care of business without burdening the boss and others to what's going on in your private life. So I know it's in us to be able to compartmentalize to take care of business. But why can't we do that? Why can't, when we come along, if we're going to share in our children and share as a nation to help one another, that we don't bring, oh my God, I wish he would listen to me, this, that, and the other. Now, this person has come into your home. And now, this person is going to look at the person you care about negatively long after you both have forgiven one another. So we have to grow a certain maturity. Not to say that a lot of these issues cannot be resolved, but that's why the Bible has the elder widow of the churches. So you got a shoulder to cry on. You got someone you can talk to who have the wisdom and who's grave, not to spread your business. And to give you an understanding through her wisdom of how you're contributing to some of what you think is a concern. But there's a place for that. I'm just hoping that when we come together outside of a Sabbath, that we're respectful to the absent. Because that's the Most High's business, right? And I want to let go the reins because we need a co-op amongst parents, a responsible co-op where children can be watched without it being a daycare. where children can actually be taught the biblical history of our parents, of our foreparents. At the same time, they're taking history intentionally out of the schools so that all of what they've done to us would be forgotten. It's upon us to change this if we're going to be a nation. And I don't know if y'all noticed this, brothers and sisters. Right? There's a lot of negative that happens. And guess what? It's to be expected with a nation actually a metamorphosis of a people who are coming out of negative into positive. It is to be expected. No one is perfect. But it's a certain level of maturity, and I'm going to drop this on you all. You notice all the negative that we've all known have happened throughout the past, that continue to happen, and all these things. Do you all notice that when I go public, I'm respectful to the absent? Unless someone is really crossing boundaries to the point where I have to now rise up, I usually is respectful to people, even if they've done wrong, because I know I want to have the opportunity one day to embrace that brother or sister. Even when things went wrong, if we operate in the spirit of when that negative is there, it's Satan seeking to tear us apart. I want to be in what? I want to be in the sight of the Almighty when it comes to coming with our brothers and sisters and know that I don't got to sit with a brother and sister and act as if something is wrong. I mean, act like everything is right, and I'm thinking something negative against them. And the only way that can happen is if we are respectful to the absent. We don't have to deal with that guilt that comes with, I just don't like this person, and I'm fronting. And this is what I want y'all to do. I want these parents to start coming together, talking to one another, right? Talking about how we can co-opt these children and teach them. I want to see this. And not to put the burden on another family as a babysitter. Responsibility. That if we're going to do this, we have to do it together and be a man or woman of our word when it comes to raising the next generation of saints. Right? Because I'm going to tell you, it's about to get rough. Many are called, few are chosen. And I was speaking to Bishop Amoth. I called him out of the blue yesterday. And I said, you know, there's a few things that we're going to have to tighten up on. And when I say we, I mean we, including myself. We can only go but so far, and then the Most High would have stagnation to let you know that something new must get injected in this. And I said, well, okay. This is going to be a year of many battles. A year of many battles. In our private lives, it's going to be many battles, you know, on the outside of here. And I said, you know what? This is what we're going to do. And I'm going to tell you, you can tell when the support is still there, but it's just, you know, it's okay. You can tell that the people are saying, you know what? It's time for a change. And I said, you know what? All right, let's do it. I said, after the Passover, we're going to discuss this. I'm going to see how I could work my Patreon early. And what I would like to do, because it's time to raise men into serious teachers, what I would like to do is put a table up here Friday night, and have a class. Have these men, women in here, and I'm breaking down precepts like it started from the beginning. Now, either I'll do it Friday night and we'll switch it off, or I can do it Saturday like I used to, early in the morning and break these scriptures down, anoint everyone, and then go out and hit the street on Saturday. And you know what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about, do you know what's in your veins? Do you know you're being changed as in the days of Noah? Charts and all of that, the last path to the mark before this thing shuts down. Elder Lawyer, if you can, go to 2 Corinthians 11:2 for me real quick.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to 2 Corinthians, and you can all follow us. A new year, a new Israel. And I like to say this, brothers and sisters, listen to this, and listen to this well. Right? The enemy. One thing about the enemy, the pagans or the people who follow their gods or the Satanists, one thing you cannot fault them for is consistency. They serve, if we can serve our God on the level they serve theirs, I believe we would have been out of here already. So when I talk about the things they're planning week by week by week, it's, there's a different angle outside of prophecy that I would like all of us to understand. When they're on point with migrants and paying Israel to actually go to war, to try to take the land that belongs to our people prophetically. Right? This is a religious belief that they are passionate about. And I need y'all to understand, and listen to this clearly. You cannot fault them for being diligent. Whatever Satan is telling them, they're on point, 24 hours a day on schedule with deadlines to finish what's required to be under Satan's favor. And the only thing we need is some consistency on our side. As much consistency they have serving their God, we should have the same, if not more, consistency serving ours. Okay? So we can talk about what they're doing, and yes, it isn't right, and it's targeted towards the desolation of our people. But one thing you can't knock them for is they're consistent, they're on point, and they are accomplishing exactly what they're planning. So that's a diligence they have with their God. Now, of course, they lose. But all in all, how more consistent should we be, knowing that we serve the true and living God? So the Most High pulled us all out of this world. We were all pagans. We were all diligent, operating and working and also contributing, walking around together to build the Tower of Babel. And the Most High pulled us out. It's epic. Each story that the Most High have for every individual that's written in heaven is epic. We all have a story. We all have a past. We all been through conflict individually. And the angels moved through all of the earth and pulled us together for the final battle. This is epic. And you know what? The devil try to have us focus so much on what's negative. We don't even have time to appreciate how grateful we should be as the chosen, to see what others cannot see. And that's why I don't relish or stand on the negative. That's why if you see me, there's always a smile on my face. Okay? And I'm not smiling just for you to see me smile. I'm grateful. So I always seek a silver lining, the silver lining in a solution, even through negative. Because he drawed me into this epic prophetic time and allowed me in this earth through the Spirit of the Most High, little old humble me who have sinned, to make even a little mark. That's being grateful. I know the Most High know us. He know you. And I would like to see what he have in you. Outside of me suggesting this is what you need to do or this is what you should do. Be who the Most High made you to be. And you have my full support in becoming what the Most High have in you. I can't do this alone. No man could do it alone. Christ himself, if any man could have done it alone, he would have. He understood that a body had to get cultivated and a doctrine instilled in the earth for his absence. But guess what? It's him directing this epic episode from heaven with his own hand, choosing each individual. Let me tell you, folks, and I'm putting this out there, and I hope you can feel in the spirit what I'm saying to you today, because the gig is up. The gig is up on their side, and they know it. I don't know who was on Patreon yesterday, but it was a guy by the name of David Goldberg said that they're going to have to ramp up their program in the earth because they could no longer hide what everyone is talking about. People have recognized and have started focusing on Zionism as an ideology. So now, if they believe that the Jewish people have a faction of Zionism that could disrupt governments as an ideology, then they'll begin to not have, they will cease to have the spiritual support they once received from the churches. Think about this. They had a political optics of righteousness because the church was stating they're the children of Israel and they should have our support. So through extension, they were able to get that land as an extension of our people who believed in them as the people. We were the people in church saying, support Israel. Hitler is the bad guy. We were the people saying, pray for Israel. And by extension, with the Most High hearing the chosen people's prayer, they got a land. But now that the people start saying, well, hold up, the people that were praying for Israel are Israel, it changes the political agendas and it takes away the spirit that's needed to support an initiative.
Right.
Because the children of Israel are now holding back their support. So now they're saying, well, listen, If the people aren't going to support our initiatives, then what need we have for these people? And this is why stuff started happening, where they started targeting our people and saying, well, we want to make sure these particular people get it first. All over the earth. And that's why every initiative that comes down, it's our people getting squeezed. As if all of these things aren't just by chance. It's as if what they're doing is intentional. And that's what this guy said. He said, listen, everything is planned. Nothing is by chance. The people are waking up. So we're going to have to get rid of the people. It's called the desolation according to scriptures. And I wish our people understood this in number to know how much of a threat we live under. But I can say this, regardless of what they are planning against us, I thank the Most High through the work. He's developed a family that when it all goes down, will protect one another. This church has been a blessing. And the only thing I have to say from year to year is to endure. Endure, and you're going to recognize the labor of your love and realize when the Most High first had you come into this work, that it was the Spirit of the Most High who guided us together. And what you thought this was, it's even more. I'm going to tell you that right now. Satan will try to frustrate it. He'll try to frustrate it with personal issues or someone doing something, or a sin might arise, or rumor might arise, or someone intentionally did something might arise. Folks, what do you think the shaping of a nation looks like? If we were all perfect, we would have been in the kingdom already. And some people get upset because I won't judge a man or a woman who's even dead wrong and have admitted it. That I won't condemn a man or woman to death. Or I won't publicly excoriate or scorch the person. People look at me like, what? Nah, I can't do it. As long as a person admit their sin and they're contrite and they go through the judgment, an opportunity must be made for them to get it right, for them to show that they are a better person from that particular act. And if Christ did it for me, guess what? We must do it for each other. You'll never see me. You'll never see me as a Pharisee pull someone up to publicly excoriate or destroy them. Because the only thing the whole time, guess what? Because if I did it, I'll be doing it for the people. That's who I'll be doing it for. But the whole time I'm doing it, the only thing I would be able to see in my conscience is Christ in the middle, surrounded by a lynch mob. Surrounded by a lynch mob. No sooner someone is caught in something or something have happened, you know what? The first thing come to people's mind is stone him, crucify him, kill him. And I can't in good conscience do that. And that's why even Christ said, listen, and guess what? It's not excusing a man or woman for what they have done. It's not that. Now, if a person is operating wrong and saying, I'm not doing anything, You can't tell me what's going on, and I'm going to do it again. Now we have a different spirit to contend with. Brothers and sisters, if Christ didn't teach us anything, I'm going to tell you, we're not going to make it through what's coming without mercy. And if we don't have mercy with one another, and guess what? People will tell you, okay, I'm a tough reprimander. Okay? I'm very articulate, and I'm very meticulous in being able to find what it is and say, come see me. But all in all, it's never done with the intention of crucifying or harming a person. It's always with the idea, if I can see that they understand that this was a one-off, or this was something that they struggled with, now an opportunity must be had for them to become stronger than they were before the sin. We're going to have a lot of scenarios. Look, we walked 40 years in the wilderness with Moses contending with our own people with issues. So this is how a nation is made. We're going to go, but you can't kill off and throw out everybody that's struggling with something. And then look around and wonder where the people are. Where's my help when the hell comes? We forgive one another. We help people become better in their struggle so that they're ready to defend or to be defended at the final last in this impending war. And we can only learn that by interacting and having these classes I'm about to have with you all. Because you have to learn judgment. Yes, we all must learn judgment. But judgment is tempered with mercy. Okay? Elder Lawyer, if you will, let's get 1 Corinthians 11, if you will.
Yes, sir.
Second Corinthians 11, I'm sorry. 2 Corinthians 11. Real quick, and I'm going to go right through these.
Yes, sir.
2 Corinthians 11, and this is what Paul wrote to the churches. Right? And start at the second verse.
Yes, sir. 2 Corinthians 11 and 1. For I'm jealous over you with godly jealousy.
And Paul says, I'm jealous over you with what?
With godly jealousy.
With godly jealousy. Listen, read.
For I have espoused you to one husband.
Because through Paul's work, he says, I've espoused you to one husband. Right? Through his teachings, he has set up an arrangement for you to know how it feels to have that connection with Christ. Right? Can you imagine? It's like a woman having a husband and saying, well, hold up. You can have him too. So when it says, I'm jealous, the woman's like, what? So I need y'all to understand the gravity of what the scriptures, what Paul is saying here.
Right.
That what? Because all of what he's seen when the Most High took him out and showed him the third heaven and showed him what happens after death and how he'll be forgiven even after destroying the church. Oh, man, I need him all to myself. But no, he can't have him all to himself. He must go out and say, well, you can have him too. You can have Christ too. And now he's jealous. He's jealous that he has to share this. Now I need y'all to think about this. Right? I'm going to tell you, But I'm going to tell you, there's gratification. There's a certain level of satisfaction that comes when you got something that you know you have to share. Like, man, I can keep it all to myself. Ooh, man, the Most High is cold right here. Man, hold up, his name is Ahiah? Are you kidding? What? And who have we been calling on? Just imagine if he's sitting in a room, running around the room saying, the world have to hear this. Paul says, for I am jealous over you with a godly jealousy. So it's not an envious or, it's not a negative jealousy. Right? Read.
For I have espoused you to one husband.
I've espoused you to one husband. His work have allowed you to what? To be bound with Christ, all of us, in marriage. Mm-hmm. And that's what that baptism was. That baptism was connecting you, connecting our people who was lost in this world back to the heavens. Read.
For I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Christ.
Now, all the evil that we have done in this world, shaped in iniquity, when we came out of that water, we were a chaste virgin. It was as if we never connected ourselves to any negative prior. Now, think about that. Now, once you receive that spirit in agreement, something happens to your senses. Your senses when it comes to the Holy Spirit. Your conscience come alive. And now there's a higher discernment between good and evil. Right? It was a difference when we walked in ignorance. But now your conscience comes alive and you're mindful to keep. We're mindful to keep our garments white. And you all know, for those who've been married, you sisters, right? You get that old wedding dress for marriage and all that, and just imagine right after you walk down the aisle, you're the prize, you're being looked upon as, oh my goodness, the Father gave you away. And here it is, your heel trip on the end, and then a guy next to you spill a glass of red wine on you. You're not going to be able to fake that one. Right? Right? So I need you to understand how pure that is. At the Most High, what he does when you're baptized is all your negative and everything that was wrong with you. You go from red to white. And then your name shines in the book of life before the heavens, and the angels begin to celebrate. Think about that. And it's no different for me than it is for you. It's the same celebration every time. Now, you know the devil is going to try to take that away. So now, what must we do? We have to understand the dynamic. Let's go to Christ. Let's go to Matthew 25. Matthew, the 25th chapter. Elder Lawyer, and this is Christ.
Yes, sir.
Right? Let's start at the first verse.
Yes, sir. Say Matthew 25:1.
Come on.
Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins.
10 virgins. Now here's 10 that came out of that water. Right? Have been espoused to Christ. Have the same information, the same spirit, and all of the angels have celebrated each and every individual of this 10 who decided to wash themselves. Mm-hmm. Read.
which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom.
Come on.
Verse 2. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish.
5 were wise, and 5 were foolish. They all have the same information, the same spirit, all of that. But the wise ones, in particular, values Christ washing sins and connecting themselves to them. And they're saying, for no reason, through these trials, tribulation that leads to the kingdom, will I lose this relationship. And here's the reality of it. When you are espoused to Christ, you are also married to his body. So you can't say you're married to Christ and you're separated from his body. That means all the ups and downs and what you have to do to drag this white body into the kingdom for the change, guess what? It's necessary. You don't look at your arm when there's a sword there and be like, I'm not going to need that. Elder lawyer, go ahead, take a machete, take my arm off. Nah, it just need healing because I'm going to need my arm. But the devil will have us believe that you can cut off the body and the body becomes stronger. No. When you marry the positives, the negatives, and everything. It comes with that relationship. And you heal what's wrong so that the body becomes stronger. You think about it. I'm still waiting for someone to cut a branch off a tree and plant that sucker and see if it turns into a tree. I'm still waiting for that. It won't happen. So good, bad, or indifference, I understand that when the Most High gave me a work to do, that this is my lot. Whether it be good, bad, positive, negative, these are our people who have come through tribulation, and none of us are going to be perfect. And that we must work with one another to achieve perfection. Be patient with one another. Right? Come on.
3.
Yes?
They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them.
So you can have the knowledge, the truth. You can know where Israel. You can know the book of Jasher, Enoch, break down precepts, understand Christ's crucifixion, all of that. Right? Because you got the light. The light is what led you to the water. But you didn't think to know what to do to sustain that light. Because the truth is up, downs, and ebb and flows. That high we were on from the beginning doesn't sustain as long as one might think it does. So now what you do through this journey is have moments on the journey to remind you of that initial excitement that came with knowing the truth. But how do I stay on that high? Some people, they come down from that high not realizing that wasn't intended to sustain from the beginning to the end. That you would have to bear up your cross and get sacrificed like Christ was sacrificed, and many people tend to run from that part. They want all the good parts. They want the part of, we the chosen, y'all not. We got the law, y'all. They like all the good stuff that they can actually feel proud about, not realizing the chastening that brings you down is just as important. And many people run like, man, this thing ain't what I thought it was going to be, man. Then you start looking at it. Is it? No. It's exactly what you thought it was. look at the guy or the woman in this truth now, right? Who's at the beginning like you were. You'll see where all the motivation and excitement is. So it's still there. But you have people who don't know how to keep their light shining, don't know how to actually what? Nurture that particular spirit that was given you, how to grow that spirit that was given you, and you stay stagnant. And then you look, so something must be wrong with everything else. But no, I'm going to show you what happened, because it happens all the time, and it even happened to me. You hit a wall and you start to question things. That's Satan. But you have to identify, what is this that's having me question my faith, what I know to be true. Lord, give me that stimulus shot that I had from the beginning. What is this? What is this wall? So you go search for why things are feeling different. Right? Now, if you overcome, it's a step that makes you wiser and stronger. Right? If you don't overcome, you're knocked backward to the point where you are I'm going to tell you, levels down from the time you actually went to the water. You have to now work your way up to where you were when you decided to be baptized. So you have to quantify and ask yourself, what is that? Because we've all experienced it. Who have tenure in this work and realize when you've taken as many steps as we have in this truth, you realize what Paul meant when he stated, I am a prisoner. There is no option. There is nothing else for me. So I better make do with what the Most High given me in this body, because I don't get another one of these, this opportunity. So we ask, well, what it is. What stagnate people? Hold that, Elder Lawyer.
Yes,
this
sir.
came out of nowhere, but I got to get it. And then we're going back to Matthew.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to Ezekiel 3. What is this? What is that wall we hit of stagnation? And then we start to look around and believe it's everyone else. Right? Something must be wrong, because you know how spiritual I am.
Right.
So if I don't feel the way I used to feel, then I got to look around and try to figure out what's wrong up in here. Mm-hmm. Right? Hold on. A matter of fact, I don't even got to get it. Elder Lawyer, read Ezekiel 3:1. I know what it says. Go ahead,
Yes,
read
sir. Ezekiel 3:1.
I'm going to stay at Matthew 25. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Ezekiel 3:1.
Come on.
Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest.
Eat that thou findeth. Go on.
Eat this roll.
Eat this roll. So in the old times, it wasn't books. These weren't books. These were scrolls. Mm-hmm. So he says, yeah, you got it. Eat this roll. Go study this Bible. Go study the prophets. Read.
And go speak unto the house of Israel.
And go speak to the house of Israel. Learn the word. Read.
Verse 2. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll.
So now you eat that roll, and you're like, man, look at this. We Israel. Man, we the lost tribes. Man, those people are converts. Mm-hmm. They're pagans. Man, slave ships. You go into the Bible like, Lord, we're truly the people. And then you start following the law, and your diet change, and you begin to feel healthier. Your mind becomes clear, right? So it's all good. Read.
3. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll.
That's our initial excitement right there. When we get this truth and learn everything the world has hid from us. But we believe that high should be sustained throughout our time in the truth.
Right.
No, that's just a stage. That's a phase that you only get once in a while, like opportunities like this. This now reminds me of how I felt from the beginning when we came together. Like you get these reminders of why we've come together, but it don't sustain like it was when you first got married. And see, that's why Christ give you this example of that virgin being given to the bridegroom. Because a lot of our people think that when you get married, that high and that honeymoon is what the marriage is. And it's not. It's the initial spirit of curiosity and mystery that comes with a new person to go on a journey with. But you can't expect that to sustain. So that's the example, because everyone deal with the newness and be like, man, he changed, she changed. Yeah, you both changed. Y'all married now. Okay. Right. This is what it is. Problem solving, issues, bills, other people in your business. Where you been at last night? Where you going? This is what it is. Right? But we always look at that initial high and believe that's reality. So first, you what? You eat that roll, the excitement, it goes into the belly, and read, Elder Lawyer.
Then did I eat, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness.
Oh, was it sweet, knowing this truth from the beginning? Read.
And he said unto me, Son of man, go get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak my words unto them.
Hold up, I think you missed something, right?
I'm going to go back, verse 3.
Yep.
In fact, I'll read verse 2.
Yep.
So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll, and he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness.
It was in my mouth as honey and sweetness. Read.
And he said unto me, Son of man, go get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak my words unto them.
Come on.
For thou art not sent unto a people of a strange speech and of a hard language, but unto the house of Israel.
Come on. But keep in mind, it starts off sweet, but now you have to deal with the people. Okay, let's get it.
Yes, sir. Revelation 10 and 9.
Revelations 10 and 9. Let's read it.
And I went unto the angel, and he said unto me, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up.
Take it and eat it up. Same precept to it, right? Same thing. Read.
And it shall make thy belly bitter.
But it shall make thy belly bitter.
But
so it starts off all good. But now you have to deal with the negative that comes with knowing the truth. It was one time that you thought all of this was just relative when it came to how people are interacting around you, family or whatever the case is. It becomes bitter when you found the truth and you begin to interact with those same exact people. And now you're seeking to change them. What you don't realize is that these were the same people the Most High moved you from while he opened your eyes. They didn't change. You changed. So when you realize this, it becomes evident, seeing what you're witnessing and saying, it's easy to be seen. And you go to them and say, well, hold up, you shouldn't be doing this. And they're looking at you like, hold up, you don't know me? I've always done this. I did this with you. So we look at these people as if they're strangers, not realizing we have changed. And that's where the bitterness start coming in. It becomes bitter. Because you would expect, okay, let's all celebrate us being Israel and get the Hades out of captivity, right? But then it's bitterness when it comes to now we have strangers who have all, the Most High have all brought together, who have to learn one another, a new family. And you expect someone to know what you've been through as if they lived and they lived your life growing up. And that you don't know me. I need you to understand me. Nah. We were all baptized into Christ with newness of life. And you and I got rid of the person you claim I'm supposed to understand. Our relationship starts now. And that's the frustrating thing about people, is because they say, you don't know what I've gone through to make me. Hold up, I thought you said that person died in the water. Why am I supposed to understand that person? So now we can only go by the interactions we have as chaste virgins. You can't expect me to know what your family know about you and all these others, and now in order for you to understand, I need to be understood and all this other stuff somebody read from books. No. Our relationship now, ups and downs, whatever we need to go through, is part of what getting to know Christ's body looks like. It's not going to all be perfect, because we're now finding our new selves with others who are finding their new selves and coming together as one. You understand? That takes patience. That takes perseverance. That takes what? Forgiveness. See? Let's go back to Matthew, because I want to get through this.
Yes, sir. Matthew 25:4.
Read.
But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps.
So the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. The people from the beginning who understood that this is all we have did what? They began to find ways of keeping the light on, of understanding that one day it's not going to be all this excitement. I'm going to have to, on a daily basis, right, exercise what's in the spirit, be in studying or whatever the case is, to not have this light go out. It's my responsibility to keep this light on. Now, I'm going to tell you the mistake we make. The mistake we make is because of someone else now to why my light is going out. When you are responsible for making sure your lamp is trimmed, that you have the oil, not because of what someone else has done. You're responsible for keeping charged, because Elder Ricard, lawyer, any of us, they didn't call you to this marriage. Christ did. Mm-hmm. So it's up to you to know how to keep your mind stimulated when it comes to the blessing. And there's a blessing that comes with being able to see. It's up to you to keep the excitement that you had from the beginning. Read.
Verse 5. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept.
It says, while the bridegroom tarried, they all slumber and slept. So here it is, time go by, and you're looking for certain prophecies to unfold, not realizing the Most High has given all of us an opportunity to get ourselves together. You're not ready yet. But yet you're sitting there saying, man, I thought we was going to be in the wilderness about 10 years ago, man, and I don't know, man. Now what? You're projecting, not realizing, not appreciating that the Most High gave you time to get more of yourself together. Mm-hmm. That's right. So you begin to tarry and believe, man, I don't know, man. Man, I don't know. Next thing you know, you got somebody flipping tarot cards. The Bible didn't give me my future on time, so let me see what the woman holding the staff with a crystal ball on it says.
Right.
Out of their mind. The prophecy didn't happen quick enough for you, so now you talking about opening up your chakra. Mm-hmm. You in your chakra will burn in hell.
That's right.
There is no shortcuts, folks. There is no shortcuts. Read.
Verse 6. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him.
Now check this out. Everything you realized and waited for and was married into. Because I'll tell you this, it's not as if you can actually forget the initial learning. It's still in you. So here it is, while things was tarried, while you thought that Christ was taking too long, it's time. Mm-hmm. And now, only thing you can do is come to mind like, whoa. Everything that they were talking about out of this Bible is happening, and I'm not ready. See, that's how Satan played the 5 foolish virgins, because they had the same as the wise ones. Something that happened. Let me tell you, folks, I'm looking at the number. It's a lot of people in here. We packed a wall to wall and all that. Let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. I'll tell you this right now. This church is way bigger than this. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's way bigger than what I'm seeing right now. I know, because when the doors shut and the jobs went out and all these things happened where people thought that this stuff was coming and we don't know where it's going, you should have seen how many people came out of the woodworks that I myself didn't know existed. And guess what, folks? It's going to happen eventually. It's going to happen where all of these power plants are going to blow. It's going to happen. Once one go down, it's a what? It's a domino effect, because one meltdown leads to the next one, because they strategically put all the power plants on a fault line. Which means when one go off, boom, 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 it's an earthquake. The yellow stone goes off. And now we're back where? We're back below third world. And at that time, I'm going to tell you, when it all first started happening, everyone is going to come out of the woodworks. But then the question is going to be asked, when the electric was fine, and when you was working at your job, when everything was fine, where were you helping us plant food? Where were you helping us get these children together? Where were you preparing for this moment? I'm going to tell you, I know that I don't want to be on the outside of what's getting planned, because there's only enough resources for those who have planted. I'm going to tell you, folks, tomorrow isn't promised to anyone. And if you have an unction or a thought through the Spirit to serve the Most High, you best begin to serve Him today. Because we're going to make sure through the Spirit of the Almighty, because guess what? Hey, everything that we said we would do, we're doing. Be it land, preparation for food, all of that. You'll be a fool not prepare, knowing what's coming down the pipeline. And then we're going to have our people, what, out there without any help? T.D. Jakes and all these others that our people have been celebrating for years are going to be on their jet somewhere into a lofty place to protect themselves. I'm going to tell you that right now. So you want to know what servants do. Servants see what's coming and saying, well, how many people we got in here, and how much provisions have they invested their time into, because the church is Christ, and all the resources belongs to them. That's what we're preparing for. So when people want to take their ball and go home, I'm like, okay, hey, it's okay. Good luck out there. Okay? That's a bowl of rice for someone else.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
We're not forcing anyone to be a part of something such as this. Because this is what a lot of us, including myself, have always prayed for, and at one point in the world didn't think was possible. A people, God's people, folks, growing into a nation. Finish reading.
Verse 7.
Come on.
Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps.
Read.
And the foolish said unto the wise, give us your oil.
Oh, man, hold up, man. Hey, Elder Lawyer. Oh, I know you, man. Hey, man, yeah, I seen y'all on YouTube. Yeah, you see me on YouTube, huh? Yeah, shalom, brother. And next thing you know, where my man, the mighty Hulk at? Huh? Where is he? Oh, come here for a second. I seen you on YouTube. Yeah, brother, man. Yeah, let me look around. I got my cousin around the corner. Yeah. And I'm be like, check it out, brother. I'm going to tell you this right now. All right, back up. Back up. All right. How your name of Yeshua? I want to be baptized. Listen, brother, it's a whole nother deal right now. Back up. You know, I'm not without mercy. Like, here's, brother, here's a go bag. Shalom. You ain't coming here with this hot mess. Here's a go bag. Okay? He's sitting there at night. He got one of those silver blankets, them plastic joints in a corner, just getting himself together. You'll be all right, my brother. There's a body warmer in there, okay? That's how we doing it. Finish reading.
Yes, sir, verse 8. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us your oil.
Give me some.
For our lamps.
Now, don't forget, this person was there with us in the beginning. Had the same opportunity to build with us. Right? Read.
For our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you.
Listen, man, we prepared enough for us. All due respect. YouTube been shut down for months. Okay? Shalom. Come on, man, that ain't Christ. I mean, listen, brother, it's all good. Here's a go bag. Okay? Read.
But go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves.
There you go. You got to start from what you got to do. You got the truth. Hey, the truth got us the provisions and the resources we have. So you go start from where you were. And if the Most High's with you, I'll meet you somewhere near the wilderness. Right? Read.
Verse 10. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came.
Come on.
And they that were ready went in with him to the marriage.
And they that were ready went in. That means these were the people who kept their lanterns trimmed, their lights on, good, bad, or indifferent. They went through shame, ridicule, disrespect, but no matter what, they had good times and bad times, but they stuck around. They worked. They believed. They had the faith in what the Most High showed them from the beginning. They persevered. Is that fair that someone who's wasting their time and isn't a part of anything reap the benefits? No, our God is an equitable God. He gave you an opportunity to build on something. And now you want to come and take from others. Read.
And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage.
Come on.
And the door was shut.
And the door was shut.
Afterward came also the other virgin, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us.
Open to us. Read.
But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not.
I don't know you. Now imagine Christ saying this. A lot of y'all, elder, what are you talking about, man? At least I give you a go bag. Okay. Christ is saying, I don't know you. How dare you receive the understanding that have been withheld from the world and not do something with it? I gave you every opportunity to get here, and you wasted what I've given you. And the people that was there that you thought was unworthy are already past the gate. Now check that out. Because why? You don't start a work in Christ and turn back. That means you never believed in the first place. You don't start a work in Christ and believe that you can go back in a world where there's nothing to go back into. That means when the Lord said, I don't know you, he knew that this person didn't have the faith to understand what it takes to actually work for a kingdom. You're not given anything. Even if you are an Israelite, you are not given anything. And if Christ bared up his cross all the way to the crucifix, how can we back up? And not only that, near the finish line, mind you. Near the finish line. How can we back up near the finish line and think we're worthy of anything? So you have to, and this is what we are searching for. This is what Christ have us searching for in ourselves. How to become exactly that spirit he charged from the beginning in order to finish. And that's upon all of you, not just me. Some of the things I was talking about today, to make sure these children are raised in an admonition of the Almighty, and that the parents are co-op together to make sure it's a reality. That's a work even on the outside of the church that's still yielding benefits. And it's an extension of what all of us said we believe from the beginning. That we're the children of Israel, we are a family, and now this must be instilled in this generation. We're here. Now, before I go, as you know, the title is A New Year and a New Israel. Let's talk about it at the very end. Let's go to Revelations, where it talks about when heaven came down. Right? Last scripture, Revelation 21. And let me tell y'all, folks, this Passover is going to be something else. Watch. In 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. When God, man, I'm so excited when God's people converge on North Carolina. Lord, and I know my mother, I know she's smiling from wherever she is because she was born in North Carolina, you know. It's almost like a homecoming for me to some degree. Lord, it's going to be something. Elder Lawyer, if you will, we go from one new year to the next, right? And eventually, this place that Christ has prepared will become a reality right here on earth. When I talk about us being chaste virgins connected to the Almighty and working towards receiving this kingdom, right? That's one thing. But Christ gave us an insight to what he was preparing ever since he was taken back to the heavenly realm. It's coming here. And guess what? No one can occupy space in this kingdom, in this new place that Christ has prepared for us, without working for a room. Let's read it, Elder Lloyd, Revelation 21:1. And I saw.
Yes, sir. Revelation 21:1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea.
Read.
And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, come down from heaven, or from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. See, it's important for us to understand why we're called and understand the end of our work. And it's important that you're constantly reminded of what is the promise or the reward that was given to our forefathers. I'm reading it. We can't say we Israel and not have occupancy in one of these places that Christ is bringing into the earth. So that means I have to go through hardship. I have to be up at nights dealing with counsel. I have to deal with certain struggles of a nation. That all the negative that comes from our people becoming the glory nation that the Most High made us, guess what? We have to work towards making it that. And never give up. Okay? There's many days I'm frustrated. So what? And I know that the Most High in Christ is looking down on us and saying, so what, you're frustrated? Who cares what your frustration is? You go out and do what I told you to do. Who's you? Who's you to be frustrated? You go out, man, I want to lay down. Get your behind up and go teach. Right? I'm required, and I have a job to do. And why am I doing this? Because at the end of the day, no man or woman is going to give me this reward. If I really have faith in the kingdom, I believe that at the end of this, Christ rewards his body. And I'm just a part of it. Read.
3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men.
Come on.
And he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God.
Look at that, folks. The sides of the north is already there. That place, the place we will inhabit, has already been built. We're going to look up, and it's going to come into existence in our realm. It's leaving the north, and it's going to come through gates, and we're going to look and see the city. It'll be here. All the heavenly realm, I'm talking about the tabernacle, all of that will be amongst men. So there's nothing the devil can do to have me frustrated into not achieving what I need to do on this side in order to be there. Okay? And this is my constant reminder of what the truth is. If you really believe in Christ, you believe that this is coming. Right? We got the communion? We got communion today? Okay, we're about to do it. Read.
Verse 4. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes.
Come on.
And there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
So all the frustration ends at that point. That's when there's no more worrying about what the devil is planning against us. He's been defeated. But we have to make it there. Right now, the devil is still disrupting, causing dissension, doubt, lack of faith. But we must work through all of this in order to receive what I'm reading right here. But the question is there, how many people truly believe this will come into existence? Right? That's the question. And we'll leave it out there because everyone will raise their hand right now. Ye that endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Read on, Elder Lawyer.
5. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. And he said unto me, It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of water of life freely.
Read.
He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son.
Who believe? See? Who believe? And I know, guess what? None of us are perfect. I know some people look at certain scenarios and judgments and say, man, Ricochet should have did this, or Ricochet should have did that. Why they allow this, or why they allow that? It's easy to say what someone should have done or could have done outside of that person. When you are given a lot of responsibility, you're going to understand some of what you can easily decide on isn't an easy decision. And you can only understand if it's on you to know why some decisions are made. And a lot of decisions that are made, yes, we use the law, but we also have the Holy Spirit to make sure that the judgments are equitable and righteous. And unless you're in a position over so many people, you don't understand why certain judgments are. You don't understand what is the private relationship or the private conversations that you might not be privy to that led to this particular decision. Right? And I'm putting that because it's going to take trust. It's going to take trust. All through the journey, even us in the wilderness, we couldn't get too far because the murmuring was happening continually concerning, well, he should be doing it this way. He should be doing it that way. To a point where the Levites, some of them went and said, you know what? We're going to make our own area of sacrifice and praise. You're not the only one. We can do this too. It's going to take a level of trust. Read.
Verse 8.
Come on.
But the fearful and the unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and liars shall have their part in the lake of fire, which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
Which is the second death. Read 9.
Verse 9.
And there.
And there came unto me one of the angels, of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials, full of the 7 last plagues, and talked with me, saying, Come hither, I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife.
I will. Now this is the bride. This is those who have made it into this promise, this kingdom. Now, Elder Lawyer, I need you to go straight down to where it tell you the measurement is what? The gates are what?
Verse 12.
Verse 12.
Yes, sir. And he had a high wall and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels.
At the gates were 12 angels.
And names written thereon which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
Which is the name of the 12 tribes of Israel. The address will be the 12 tribes of Israel. The question is, what are you willing to endure through to get a room? The Gentiles are around in the outer courts, but only the 12 tribes will inhabit the city. So I'm saying this, that, hey, we're in a new year. Let's work to be different to some degree and encouraging each other, right? To be a new Israel starting now, so that we can look back a year from now, if it be the Most High's will, to see how much more this body has contributed to the growth of our church and our nation. Happy New Year. Elder Lawyer, if you can read. And I would like to say this is our communion for the new year. I hope you all are blessed. And brothers and sisters, please enjoy the meal that's prepared for you. May the Most High nourish you and keep you. And I need you all to know personally, and this is with anyone who have ever been a part of the church or who's in the church throughout the four corners of the earth, that I can say honestly, that I can take this communion without any negative, without feeling any negative ill will. My conscience is clear, and that I have nothing against anyone that I haven't already dealt with. Okay? So in good conscience, let's eat this bread and drink this wine, and remember that according to the Almighty, we're at Christ's communion. We're at his Last Supper. And understand our obligation one towards another. Let's make it another year. Okay? Let's do it one day at a time, one Sabbath at a time, one holy day at a time, 1 year at a time. But let's do it together. If there's any issues, the Bible tell you, if someone is caught in a fault or has a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore that man or woman in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. Which means, people are going to do wrong. People may offend you. But make sure you go to them in the spirit of humility, so to gain a person, instead of using that circumstance to have you believe that person, that brother or sister, is an enemy. They aren't an enemy. They're part of the body. They may need healing, but they're still part of the body. Okay? Elder Lawyer, if you can read this.
Yes, sir. 1 Corinthians 11:23. For I have received of the Lord that which I have also delivered unto you, that the Lord Yeshua the same night in which he was betrayed took bread. And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, Take, eat. This is my body which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me.
The water Ahaya, in the name of Yeshua, for your son, and thank you for your sacrifice. Y'all don't have one? Get it going. They should have had it first. Okay, I'm going to ask, who doesn't have bread and wine? Get it to them, please. Come on now. From now on, we're going to make sure that it's on the table in advance, like it should be. Please make sure, raise your hands if you don't have bread and wine. Thank you. I appreciate it, young man, getting them. the communion, the bread, and the wine. Thank you. And man, let me tell you, that choir is something different up in here. Lord. I'm like, man, they can sing. Lord. I came through here, I'm like, they cooking up in this piece. I'm like, what? Okay, does everyone have bread and wine? Raise your hand if you're still waiting. Just keep your hands up so they can get it to you. Thank you. Man, we need to get this bread and wine happening because we have to get to the real deal, that food waiting. What's going on here? I'm sitting there, the aroma that's coming from back there is, that's a sweet savor unto the Most High. When it said that sweet savor went up, it's like Levi just threw some sauce on that lamb. Okay, raise your hands if you're still waiting. Somebody bring a whole plate of bread and a bottle of wine in that area right there, please. And yeah, but make sure you just put in a little teeny cup. We don't want you to get it twisted up in here, all right? Man, y'all should have been up on this one. I don't understand. Maybe I don't know. But you know what? You know what? I'm feeling good today. And I'm not going to let anything move me negatively. The person that's not getting that bread and wine is still a part of the body. And I'm not going to feel frustrated. The spirit of love and forgiveness is upon me. All right. No, we got to wait. Hands raised, hands raised. Let me see it. Oh, there it is. Okay, some people are taking some initiative around here. Raise your hand. Okay, who doesn't have bread and wine? Okay, give it up. Everybody got bread and wine. Let's do it. Give it up to the Most High. Boom. There it is. Do me a favor, brother. Hold up. Hold up, brother. It's a New Year's celebration. It's a New Year's celebration, and what I need you to do, I'm at the top of that table with the rest of that. Top of the table. You put the whole, yeah, right there. There it is. Just hold it right there. No, you got to worry about it. Put the cap on it and put it right there. Happy New Year's. Y'all something else. All right, Elder Lawyer. Everyone have bread and wine, right? My people. Blessings. Let's do it, Elder Lawyer.
All right. And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, Take, eat. This is my body, which is broken for you. This do ye in remembrance of me.
We're at Christ's table. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for a blessed year. Eat. That's the body of Christ. Remember, we're in this together. Go ahead, Elder Lawyer.
After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, This cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as oft as ye drink it in remembrance of me.
Christ shed his blood. He shed his blood for the sins of our nation. And through this, here's an opportunity for Christ's body to unite as a church. What a blessing. Drink, brothers and sisters. Kwam Yashala. Kwam Yashala. Kwam Yashala. Raise Israel, rise Israel, and the Gentiles in Christ. Shalom. Blessings.